So today, in 24 hours, I will be walking onto the land, the grounds of my ancestors, all the way from my great-grandfather on my father's side, going not even back, because I've never been there, but I'm going to travel to the land and the grounds where my ancestors date back to the 1700s or 1600s. Ooh, and this was not something that I knew about a year ago. Today is October 25th. I've been documenting. But as I sit here, in order to be able to be away, I've had to work my business on days I'm normally off. And it's a blessing to stay busy and be able to take the time, commit to the time. I've been thinking a lot about where I'm using my time, even with social media. And as I worked up until last night, and then leisurely, which I need to get on the road because I don't want to be driving in too late, and I gotta get parking and all where I'm going to stay at a family's. And y'all, you know, I have equipment. I bought mics. I've used them before. Well, I'd have to talk so loud. I just didn't feel like pulling them out. I'll get better over time. You know, sometimes you just want to just hit record, and that's it. So as I prepare for this journey, a lot of what I've been contemplating about in general has been how busy we are. I'm going to talk about myself. And even in the midst of it, I desire constantly a higher way of being in the present moment. And so I rested, got packed. I need to check the tires. I needed to make sure I have something to eat. It's a average 6 hour drive for me. Sometimes I drive 3 hours and I stop, and then I have a routine. But today I kind of, I've been reminding myself to to just breathe, to just listen. Listen for what? Listen for next steps. Listen for clarity and confirmation on everything. And then allow. I'm having my lunch. I could drive and eat and multitask, but I don't feel like it. I feel like stop, breathe, listen, and allow. I'm not taking a lot of time to do that. I'm going to stay in this moment till I'm satisfied, and then I'll move into the next. It's a beautiful day. I want to enjoy the ride. I want to allow my mind to slow down and take off the garment of all kinds of thoughts other than being so deeply in the present moment as I take the journey with my family, with a few of my family members, to a part of Virginia I'd never heard of. I picked out my outfit. I might inserted here. I am going in full reverence. Yep. I'm going in full reverence for me, authentically stepping onto that land, authentically standing up just in sacred recognition that my ancestors, who we don't know, is laid in that enslaved, unmarked graveyard. We don't know who's there, but we can trace back to this plantation. And 2 years ago, they started having a ceremony to honor descendants. I only by the grace of God was led to an awareness of this. This particular plantation was owned by the Carter family in Westmoreland County, Virginia. They call it the Northern Neck of Virginia. You might have seen me post some things here and there, so yeah, I'm repeating it. It's okay. This history, the more and more I repeat it, it helps to keep me awake within my DNA. You know, I know this is it's a mixed feeling. I can't put my finger on what I feel or what I'm going to feel. I've been given a key, opening a door of a part of myself that I never knew was there. Not just me, my father, his father, his father, his, you know, all the way up. And the rich history. The Carter family owned 330,000 acres from what I could research and gather. This key was given to me through connecting with a 6th-generation cousin through my father. A chain of events where there was over 10 years in between these events till the culmination of where I'm here sitting and learning about this. The Carter family, it says on the historical marker, and I'll put that here, it says they were one of the most wealthy in the whole United States at that time. From the 1600s to the 1800s. So there was the Carter family, and the name Robert Carter kept going. Robert Carter 1 and 2, and then Robert Carter 3. Robert Carter 3 did something significant which impacted my ancestors. And an additional significant thing about this particular family, enslaver plantation, is that Robert Carter III released or began to release his enslaved people 72 years before Emancipation Proclamation. These are things we weren't taught about in history. You heard about the Emancipation Proclamation, but also, again, as I mentioned before, Juneteenth has to do with Texas not knowing, and then, but we weren't aware that 72 years before, the government said to Virginia enslavers that you can free your slaves, and it's called the law of manumission, and I'd never heard it before. So there was 2 types of emancipation. You got Emancipation Proclamation, but before that, 72 years is manumission, and Google it. And the law of manumission for Virginia stated that Virginia enslavers can release your slaves. Gradually, he did. He created a will, a trust, a deed that went past his, you know, that was executed even past his death. And a part of that is, if you were to release your slaves, he did it over time, releasing some every year. But they had to also make provision for them to be able to live. And I think he did it in a way that our ancestors could buy land and things like that. But also they had to pay taxes. And also, so the first group of enslaved people that he released was the age of 45 or older. But they couldn't take their children with them. So I don't understand a lot about that. Maybe it's because giving them a chance to get on their feet. I don't know, but the bottom line is the children couldn't leave until they were 18. There's a lot of layers to the story. But a historic event occurred before the Emancipation Proclamation, y'all. 4th of July. But that's when they celebrate that. You know, that's not our emancipation. And look, Juneteenth. I've come to find out, even with Texas, after that, there were southern states where the people were still enslaved because they weren't aware of the news that's going on in the outside world. They have a certain name for that. Man, look. Going back. There's an African proverb called Sankofa. It means, in general, go back to know where you came from so you can go forward in a stronger and more aware way. That's how I see Sankofa symbolism. I was able to find a minister's stole, or a stole to use as a minister. I hadn't gotten it, been able to find it. I completed my ordination as an angelic minister back in April of 2023. And now here it is. Everything that I needed showed up for me to order. And it even came with a little card that had a favorite scripture of mine that I love, because I love the awareness of ancient sacred texts that are being still used now, and other ancient sacred texts. My ministry is more of a metaphysical ministry, mostly through sound, speaking. I was blessed I've been blessed to be able to participate in conferences and facilitate speaking, movement, sister circles, you name it. Did I say I'm getting ready to walk onto the grounds of my ancestors? So I got a little itis now. Let me finish this sandwich. I don't want to be sleepy on the road. Go get this tire. The tires checked. I got the oil change checked. But I'm choosing to stop and breathe and listen. But most importantly, allow. I'm allowing the divine, the energy that moves these trees that I cannot see, the energy that placed this sun that is millions of times bigger, but we can't even imagine. Right now, I'm experiencing the sun, and so is everybody on the East Coast. Yeah. Breathe. Release. Allow.